Okay, how do you monetize as a Roblox developer? How do you make money from this field? Well, that's a great question, and today we're gonna go over exactly how to do that. So, Roblox is a platform that is filled with money-making opportunities, but most people don't know how to tap into them. And a lot of people don't even know that you can make money from Roblox. Well, let's just say you can, and you can make a lot. There are top game studios that are earning millions of dollars a month. If you want to tap into this market of Roblox, there are so many different ways for you to earn, right? Even if you're starting out small, starting out taking commissions, taking orders for builds or scripts or models or UI, you're going to be able to start making money, even if it's not a crazy amount of money, even if you're not making millions, right? You could start making hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars a month relatively quickly from Roblox development. So let's go over how to do this. So we have a lot of different skills that you can choose from on Roblox. Right here we have all the skills that people like to look at. They like to say, oh, this is what development is right here. This is it. Development is building, scripting, modeling, UI design, VFX, GFX, animation, and sound design. And that's it, right? These skills, they don't even exist. These other ones up here, you didn't even see them, right? And this leaves most devs in a mindset of low leverage. So they're trading their time and their effort directly for income, right? So most devs, they're going around, okay, I'm going to learn how to build and then I'm going to take commissions on X. Okay, great. But you have to have a plan to be able to ascend beyond that. You must, at a certain point, level up beyond just commissions if you want to make this more than just another job, right? Because if you're just sitting there taking commission orders all day from people on X, you're trading your time and your effort for money. You are no different than somebody who is working at the grocery store, bagging items for people to get a paycheck. The only difference is that you're doing Roblox development, you're doing studio work. Yeah, you're developing more valuable skills, but if you're just gonna stay stuck there, you're just like everybody else, right? So learning one of these skills is great, and that is your first step. You gotta figure out one of these skills. That's how people get started in Roblox game development. But after that, right, we're talking a lot about Roblox development career strategy. Well, in order to have strategy and follow that first, rather than just passion, you got to start diving into the outside of studio skills. These are skills like investing, game design, project management, and marketing. So these skills are skills that allow you to build systems, right? So you're able to earn money from systems rather than just your time and effort. And that means you can make money while you are sleeping. That means you can make money and delegate work to other people, right? You can make money from games that other people are working on for you. So that puts you in a very, very powerful position because now you aren't just limited by your own time and effort, right? You aren't just limited by yourself taking commissions and making solo projects all by yourself. Right now you have the legwork of other people who can do the in-studio skills for you. Building, scripting, modeling, UI design, VFX, GFX, animation, sound design. You can have other people do all that stuff. So now once you actually have the outside of studio skills, right? Once you start to become a game designer and a project manager, you can then come up with game concepts, come up with game ideas, and then tell other people to go and make them. So game design is basically coming up with what a game is, coming up with a game idea, coming up with a design for a game, how it's going to be played, all the maps, everything that's going to be inside of the game. You plan that out. Then project management is carrying out that vision through other people. So you then take that game design, put it into a Trello board, which is a website that lets you basically make an advanced to-do list, hire a bunch of people, assign everybody their tasks, assign everybody their roles, and then lead the game to completion. So these two skills in conjunction with each other are very powerful, right? Most devs overlook them, and a huge part of it is because they don't think properly, right? Most devs are thinking like hobbyists. So when you're thinking like a hobbyist, you think, okay, I am super passionate, right? I'm super passionate about building, right? I'm definitely passionate about building myself, right? So I'm super passionate about building. That's what I love to do. That's all I want to do, right? That's great, man. It's great to be passionate about your skill. But here's the problem. If you're just focused on your passion and you never think about strategy, you're not able to level up to higher leverage, to having you do outside of studio skills, to having you lead teams, to having you own projects and hire other people to complete them and release them on the Roblox platform, right? So you stay stuck just taking one-off commissions, making simulator maps for people, making classic Roblox maps for people for the next Grow a Garden clone, making maps for the next anime game on Roblox. You're stuck there. And some people, they want to do that. They want to stay stuck just on their passion, just on their one skill of building. That can work, because if you really focus hard on specialization and you focus hard on mastering a skill, you're going to be very, very good at it. And a studio might want to hire you. So you could get hired by the team behind Adopt Me, or you could get hired by Rolv if they hire people, devs behind Arsenal, right? You get hired by a big studio, and now you have a full-time job working for a studio, right? So that can work for people. I wouldn't say that everybody has to absolutely level up to owning their own projects and doing game design and project management for themselves. But if you want the best path that's going to make you the most money, that's going to put you in the best position as a developer, I highly recommend that you level up beyond just in-studio skills, these low-leverage skills. For me, that's what I had to do, right? I decided, okay, I like building. I love it. But in around 2021, 2022, I decided, okay, I love building, I love making maps, but just taking these commissions isn't really making me as much as I want to make. So I decided to learn scripting, right? I decided to learn how to make my own games. I decided to learn the key skill that would allow me to take a map that I made and turn it into a fully playable project. Out of all these skills, scripting is the highest leverage in-studio skill, right? The highest leverage skill that's done inside of Roblox Studio itself, because it allows a game to reach completion. Okay, so scripting is one level of leverage higher than all these other skills. And it's also the power of code. So code does things for you, right? That's the whole point of having a computer. And it does more operations than your brain can do at once, at least for its purpose, right? We're able to run computer programs, we're able to run Photoshop, things like that. That allows us to have more leverage. It allows us to amplify our efforts beyond just ourselves through computers. That's why human beings invented computers in the first place, right? So code is a form of leverage. So that's why scripting is the highest leverage in studio skills. So I decided that I wanted to level up beyond just building, right? To scripting. And it is for this reason. It is higher leverage. And at first, I gotta be honest, I didn't like scripting. I thought it was hard. I thought it was confusing. I did not understand scripting right away. I'm not one of these people who instantly picked it up, but I just pressed on through, right? I did not get it, and my scripts weren't working. I was running into constant bugs. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just pushed through. I learned from the Dev Kings guy originally. They were great back in the day. Some great videos for learning scripting. He had a great series. And I was able to finally figure it out because I was hardworking enough to push through and finish it. And I had to put aside my passion for building. I had to put aside my passion for modeling to pursue scripting because I knew it would benefit me, right? I was thinking strategically, right? I didn't fully come to the realizations that we now have, years of experience, years of study, that you got to put strategy before passion, right? Now we have the framework for Roblox development success. I didn't have that back then though, right? I was still figuring that out. So I had some strategic thinking show up in my mind though, because I knew, okay, scripting is higher leverage. It's going to get me further. And the reason I wanted to script was so I could make my own games. And that's exactly what I did, right? So now I didn't have to rely on somebody else to script. I was able to do it myself. Hiring a scripter can be very expensive, right? So now after that, after a while messing around with code, we finally made the group Jimmy Games. A lot of you guys know this group. It's got meme games in it. And we made a game called Sussy Imposterland. It's a very simple meme game, right? And this game, right, we didn't even know it would take off. We were just like, okay, let's make something random. All right, let's sit down, let's get in studio, and let's just throw some stuff together and see what happens, right? Sus was a very popular meme back then. Among Us was a very popular meme. So we just made it. And we advertised it with 1,000 Robux, and then we just kept advertising it, kept advertising it, kept advertising it, added more guns, added more monetization to it, added game passes, and eventually the game started to have players even when we weren't advertising. 40, 50, 60, 100, and beyond, right? So this game put us on the map. Sussy Imposterland, the stupidest, weirdest project ever, it got us one of our first simple games, and it got us a lot of funds. So now, with the funds that I earned from this project, I am now doing game design and project management. I'm now funding and investing in new projects. and the other meme games and Jimmy games, because we made millions of Robux, right? Millions. And when you have millions of Robux, when you have thousands of dollars that you can spend on new projects, you have what? Leverage. When you have capital, you're able to spend that and get labor. You're able to get other people to work for you. This is how entrepreneurs think. So I leveled up from builder to scripter to entrepreneur. So now I have a system, right? And what is that? Well, I have a system of lots of different people who work for me, who work under me, who work with me as well, like Myro. And all of these people serve a different role on the projects that I make. So now I have a whole bunch of people. I have a system of people who work below me. I have scripters, builders, modelers, UI designers. I have my good friend Myro who manages these projects, and that's our system, right? We have different people working on different things rather than it just being me or just being us. And that allows us to place our time and our energy where it is best spent, which is what? Not doing all those menial studio tasks, which are fun, right? As I said, I have a passion for Roblox Studio. I have a passion for building, but these are low leverage activities in comparison to these other things I could be doing. So I spend my time coming up with new game ideas, coming up with new projects, funding new games, making content so I can reach thousands of people. That's also a very high leverage skill, is making content. So we can add that in here. Content creation. So you can have a similar journey to me, right? You can, of course, it's going to be different. Everyone's situation is different. Everyone likes different skills. Everyone has a different passion. Yeah. Whoa. Is Smarty contradicting himself? Well, no, because you'd be better off. Yeah, you're going to be better off if you choose a studio skill you're actually passionate about, right? Choose one of these skills that you actually like for your first skill, right? That's going to get the ball rolling a lot faster because you actually enjoy it. Now, if you are somebody who just wants to get results, if you don't care that you might not like scripting as much, you might not enjoy it as much at first like I did, but you just want to make games and you want to get them out there and you want to earn Robux and you don't want to work for anyone else. All right, yeah, pick scripting. Do that skill first, right? Even if you don't feel like doing that. But for your first skill, you often want to pick the skill that you enjoy doing the most, right? It's up to you. You can pick the skill you enjoy doing the most out of all of these, or you can just dive straight into scripting if you want to make your own solo projects and if you want to have the highest leverage possible from the start. But a lot of people, they don't have the discipline to learn scripting even when they aren't somebody who feels like a scripter, who feels like someone who likes writing code. All right, so you've learned a skill. You've picked up an in-studio skill. Now let's talk about all the different ways you can monetize that skill. So we're talking a lot about Roblox development career strategy, and this is all about having a step-by-step sequence in how you lead your career. How are you going to go from noob, who knows nothing about Roblox Studio, to pro, that owns multiple games, has hundreds to thousands of players, and millions of Robux in earnings? How are you going to make that journey? How are you going to make that transformation? Well, glad you asked. You're going to do that by starting to monetize your skill. And you can pick any one of these methods you want, right? So these methods are going to take a lot less effort than making a full game, right? Even if you're making simple games, it's generally going to be harder to do that than it will be to, say, take a commission. Because a commission for building is just a map, right? You're just making a map for somebody. You're just making a jungle map for somebody's Mario Kart game. You're just building out an obby, not scripting it. You're just making a simulator map for somebody, some basic simulator map kind of modeled after Pets Go. Right, that's just one component of a game rather than an entire game. So it's going to take a lot less effort and a lot less time to complete a commission than an entire project. Same thing for dev assets, UGC, and info products and dev content, right? These don't take as much effort as making an entire game, doesn't take as much investment, but there's still some good monetary rewards. So pick one of these methods, right? Dev content is just making content about Roblox development, either on YouTube or somewhere else. And then there's info products. So info products and dev content, they go hand in hand. So info products is just selling a course, tutoring, a community, etc. Right? And you just tell people, hey, go join my course or go join my tutoring. I'll teach you how to script one-on-one. That is a great way to monetize Roblox development that not a lot of people are doing because there are so many devs that need to learn but there is a lack of teachers. So teach people through info products and dev content, and you can make a lot of money. You can do dev content on whatever platform you want. Usually people do it on YouTube. You're going to earn the most there from ads, but if you go to TikTok or you go to Instagram Reels, right, I'm sure you could make content about Roblox development, get a lot of views, and then make money by pointing people over to your course, pointing people over to tutoring, pointing people over to an info product. That is going to be how you'll earn from dev content on these other platforms, because they don't really pay as much from ads. Dev content, there's both education and entertainment. So usually with educational content, you're going to get less views, but you have more chance to monetize through info products. Entertainment, on the other hand, you're going to get a lot more views, right? Like 6 devs grow a garden without communicating. 4 million views by RoDev, one of the most watched dev videos ever. That's entertainment. You're going to get the most views from that, and then you're going to make a lot of money from the ads. Now with education though, the money can be comparable, if not greater, than the people making entertainment content, because you're able to make a ton of money selling courses, etc. Because a course isn't something that you sell for 10 bucks. You can sell a course for $97 like I do with Scripting Secrets, and you can get a good amount of sales each month. And you can make more than what these people are making from their entertainment videos, even if they're getting millions of views, if you do it right. But it depends on what you want to do, right? You can choose which one. And if you do entertainment, you can also try selling info products. It's just that audience isn't going to be as warm of an audience, right? Most people aren't going to be as interested in actually buying a product typically, because there's also a lot of players in that audience. There's also a lot of devs who are more novice, who aren't really trying to level up, trying to earn from their skills. So they might be less likely to actually buy a product. But you would be going off of sheer volume there, right? You'd be trying to win by saying, okay, I'm getting 4 million views on my 6 devs make a game without communicating videos. Now we'll just funnel all that traffic, funnel all those people into our product, and some people have to buy it, right? And you would be right. Some people will buy it. So do that. Let me know how it goes if you do that, right? I haven't done that myself. Do entertainment content and try to sell info products from that, right? But also you can sell dev assets. That also goes hand in hand with dev content. I should put that right next to it. So dev assets, it's basically selling scripting systems, selling 3D models, selling music packs, selling things that you have made that other developers can put in their games. So dev assets, that's a great way to monetize. You can also make an online store for that. And you can use a site like Gumroad to do any of this, right? You can use a site like Gumroad to sell info products or dev assets. There's also ConvertKit. There's a lot of other sites. You can look into them. I use ClickFunnels. That one costs money though. The other two are free. And then also there's Clearly Dev, other stores for dev assets, okay? So there are some dedicated Roblox dev stores for that. All right. You can also promote your commission through dev content, so it is lower leverage again, right? Because commissions rely on your time and effort directly. Info products and dev assets are higher leverage, and they don't require you to be working 24/7 in order to sell them, right? You just put a link to it in the description of your video, and you make money passively from people clicking your link and buying the product. There's also affiliate marketing, right? So that's another way to make money from dev content. So if you join Scripting Secrets or you join the Ultimate Dev Content Creator course, you join one of those courses from me, you're able to join an affiliate program and you can make money from promoting the course to other people, dropping the link to that product in your description, and then explaining to people why it's worth buying, etc. And that's a way to monetize without having your own product. So a lot of you guys were watching this and you don't want to make your own course. You think it would be so hard to sit down and record hours of scripting lessons or teach people all about modeling in Blender. You just want to have somebody else's product to promote. Cool. I'm not going to judge you for that. In fact, I welcome you to go and promote my product, and you will make somewhere around 30, 40, 50% of the income. I can't remember the exact percentage, but you make a really good percent. So go ahead and join one of those courses and you will get access to the affiliate program in there. Now, that's a great method as well. There's also other affiliate marketing programs. You can look them up. All these different Roblox sites, like Clearly Dev, they might have an affiliate marketing program. I'm not exactly sure, but you can find other sites that have. So we have commissions. Okay. Go on Card and make a portfolio, or go on another website. Like you can even use the Roblox Talent Hub to do this, right? Make a portfolio, show all your work, show all your scripting work, show the games you worked on, show all your builds, If you don't have any examples of your work, you don't have any animations that are good enough to put out there, just go in studio and make some really quickly and then just throw them on your portfolio. It's better than having nothing. Then, right, promote your commissions on X and Discord. Talent Hub is kind of a side option. It's not the best, but just be there to be everywhere, right? To have the most chance of getting commissions possible. Just put yourself out there. Then once you promote your commissions on X and Discord, take the orders that you get, charge high for them, have strong boundaries, make sure that you don't start giving people unlimited revisions. I've certainly done that mistake before, where you take a commission, but then somebody keeps stretching it out and exploiting your lack of boundaries. You have to be able to have boundaries and say, okay, yeah, I've done your commission. This is all you've paid for. We're cutting it off here unless you pay me more. Or you can just say, we're cutting it off here outright, right? All these fixes you want on this build, go hire somebody else to do it, right? At a certain point, you have to be able to do that. So have some terms and conditions. You can write out some terms and conditions people agree to, and you can put that in your portfolio before you get hired. It's very important to do. Have some boundaries for yourself. Have some limits for how people can hire you and what you'll do for them. Then UGC, obvious, right? You can put UGC out there on the catalog if you're a modeler. So you can learn Blender modeling from my guide, start making some UGC. You can keep it real simple, just put it out there. You can make a UGC store and then you can promote it through social media like dev content or another type of social media, right? Just a general Roblox page. Tell people to go buy your UGC. That'll be a great way to earn from your models. So once you earn enough money from these different methods, right, you can use that to then make games. So as we say, make simple games first. And now you can dive into game development, right? So you're going to be in a better position after you've monetized through these methods or through one of these methods, right? You've made 500,000 Robux, 1 million Robux. Maybe you've made it through USD, so you've made $6,000. Now you can take that money, you can put it into game development, right? And you can hire other developers. That's why we make money, right? We make money not to go and ride off into the sunset with it and go buy a mansion and a Ferrari in Guatemala and just live our life and forget about Roblox forever, right? No, we make money to give us leverage that allows us to make better games and expand our career and sustain ourselves financially for a long time to come, for good, right? That is the point. And once you've made enough money through different methods or through one method, right, you can now invest that into game development. And you can make simple games, you can make projects, you can put them out there on Roblox. And that's where the real money comes in because, look, who makes billions of Robux on Roblox? Only game owners do that. The top games on Roblox earn billions and billions and billions of Robux. Billions. So if you want to get to the big leagues, you're going to have to make games. Simple as that, right? But that's how you guide your career, right? And this is how it works. So if you want this diagram, you can download it in the description and you can use that to map out your Roblox game development career strategy, right? And as you can see, this is very modular. You can do this how you want, but when you understand the mechanics of Roblox development career strategy, you're able to build out your own based on that. I'm not here to tell you exactly how to lead your career. That's up to you, and that is the power of being a Roblox developer. You can guide your career however you want, but you got to put strategy before passion if you're ever going to get to this point of being a high-level developer who invests in projects, who does game design, project management, and you focus on that, and you're able to fund new games and hire the builders, scripters, modelers, UI designers, VFX artists, GFX artists, animators, sound designers. You're able to hire all those people to do all the work for you so you can continue to build your empire on Roblox. That is the end goal if you're looking to be the most successful possible. Some people might have a different end goal. You might not want to make the next jailbreak one day or make a complete and full business, right? You might not want to be a monopoly, right? You might just want to be somebody who has a nice dev YouTube channel and sells assets and sells courses and promotes their small little games that they make by themselves, right? That might be your end goal, right? And that's fine. You can do whatever you want. But for the people who are the most ambitious, for the highly serious developers who want to go big time and become like Do Big, you're going to go down this full path of gaining the most leverage possible. And a lot of people don't like Do Big. I'm not saying I support them or not, but they are a great example of what top level success on Roblox looks like. They own so many different games. They have bought up all these, they hire all these developers. They have the highest leverage system on Roblox. They're definitely a model to study and definitely replicate if you want to be a top level dev because they truly are winning. So that's how it's done.